The MQ135 is a volatile gas sensor. They come in a couple of different forms, and the way we can tell which particular module we have is how many pins are poking through the board here. We can see here there are 6 longer pins poking through from the sensor, so this is the 6-pin type. These pins protrude quite away from the board. Don't be tempted to trim them off because they act as a heat sink, as this module is a heated product. Having a look at the back of the board, we can see there are 4 pins labelled AO, DO, ground and VCC. This module works from 5 volts DC. During normal operation, A0 provides an analog output value that changes between 0 and 5 volts depending on the level of volatile gas that is detected. DO will change a state from either high to low or low to high depending on whether a certain threshold value is met. The threshold value can be changed using the blue potentiometer. Also note there are 2 LEDs on board. One is a threshold LED to show whether or not the threshold value has been met or not, and the other is a power LED. If we have a close look at the construction and the operation of the sensor itself is this metal tin on the top with a wire mesh. The sensing element is inside this metal housing. The metal mesh offers some sort of ignition protection against the sensor from igniting flammable volatile gases. The mesh acts as a cage to protect the sensor from volatile gas and from it causing a possible ignition point. So do not remove the mesh cover. Underneath the mesh cover there is quite a construction. We have a heater element that takes some time to warm up, a sensing element which consists of a ceramic surface coated in a conductive material. This conductive material changes resistance depending on the amount of volatile gas that is striking its surface, and it works much more efficiently when it's hot, thus the heating element. This sensor is considered an easy sensor to get working, but some of the disadvantages are that you can't easily differentiate between what type of gas is being detected. It reacts to most volatile gases such as methane, butane and alcohol vapours such as IPA vapour, but actually detecting which of the gases you've detected is probably impossible, or may be possible with some very close analysis of the results gained from the sensor. Okay, let's run some tests on this sensor. We are going to connect the AO pin up to our Arduino A0. We're going to connect a ground to GND, and we are going to connect VCC to 5 volts. Just 3 wires. The system I'm going to show you next also has an SD card so we can log data, and a small LCD display so that we can see the values from the sensor. So we now have our sensor connected up to our 3 wires, live, ground and analog, and they are routed down to an Arduino Uno board where they're plugged into A0, ground and 5 volts. All of the other wiring here consists of a micro SD card, an LCD display and a button so that we can record a test to the SD card. If you'd like to see code for this system, I'll include basic code for reading a value from the sensor and giving it over to the serial monitor, and I'll also provide the code for this whole system, but if you wanted to make that work you would need to find this exact display and this exact SD card reader module. Let's power this up and see what we get. So I've programmed this tester to allow 60 seconds warm up. We can see the analog 0 raw value there, and it's dropping. And we'll allow this to heat for 1 minute and we'll check the analog 0 value. After 1 minute of warming, the A0 value is around 300. We can see it jumping between 270 and 300. It's still going down, so we're going to allow the sensor to keep warming. I'm going to monitor the A0 value and see at what value and time it stabilizes. After 2 minutes, the value has fallen to 190. It's still going down, so we'll give it a little bit longer. After 3 minutes, the value has dropped to 150, and it's still dropping. One thing to note, when this sensor is brand new, straight out of the pack, it suggests a burn-in period of 24 hours. So this thing will need to be powered up and heated for 24 hours, which will allow the sensing element to settle and respond appropriately. We're still dropping. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and come back and see if we've stabilised. After about 5 minutes of warming up, we've settled with an analog value of around 105. So you can see this sensor is not ideal if we want to make a quick measurement, but it's okay if we need to do a stable monitoring of a room where the device is left powered all the time, a bit like a smoke detector or something like that. However, because it's got the heated element, it will consume battery very quickly. Okay, let's test a few gases to see which it responds to the most. Okay, I'm going to press the start button. Okay, let's test a butane lighter. So we'll fire the gas off very close, and we can see that the sensor has immediately detected it. The value has jumped significantly from 100 to 700, according to the sensor there, to a maximum of 800. You can see the time it takes for it to settle back down is considerable. We'll come back in a moment once it's settled back down towards 100. After 1 minute, the sensor is still slowly scaling back to its original value. It's going to take some time. So we're going to run the next test. That test was at about 1 inch from the sensor. This time I'm going to move the gas away 3 inch from the sensor, and we'll fire the gas and see whether it detects the gas. Yes, you can see the gas is detected fairly quickly. And again, we've gone to a level of about 600, and we are dropping back down. We'll come back in a few moments once it's settled. We are now 6 inches away from the sensor. Let's fire the gas. You can see it was slower to respond, but it has peaked to roughly the same value of 800 once again. And it did respond fairly quickly. Let's let it level off again. Our gas source is now 1 foot away from the sensor. Let's let the gas flow. And there we go, it's detected the gas at 1 foot away. It did take considerably more seconds, probably about 6 to 8 seconds there, but it has easily detected the gas and reached a similar level again. So it is fairly sensitive at reading gas. This is how far away the lighter is. We'll let that settle and try another sample. Okay, for this test I am using some ethyl acetate. I've opened the bottle in the room and we can see that the sensor has reacted to the bottle being opened. I'm now going to bring a small sample closer to the sensor to see whether the fumes are detected. You can see the sensor is far less responsive to it, perhaps because it's not evaporating freely. Let me see if I can evaporate some. So certainly once the chemical has been evaporated, it has responded to it. But there didn't seem to be enough vapour coming off this sample for it to trigger inside the lid. In this test I will provide a sample of perfume. And we can see an interesting response here. It's a strong response, not actually as high as the butane, but it is going through a prolonged pulse here. I'm guessing that's because the sample is on the surface here, it's still evaporating. And the whole time that it's evaporating, we will see a high pulse. It's taken some time for the sensor to settle down after the perfume test. We'll now try at 1 foot. As you can see, the sensor took a little while to detect there, but we have a reading that is slowly stabilizing. So one thing this sensor might be very good at is actually measuring the propagation time of a gas through an air medium. So you could put this at the other side of the room, release a gas sample and see how long it takes for the sensor to detect it. Well, we are in the middle of a heat wave in 2026 here. As you can appreciate, keeping the doors and windows closed to keep the heat out is of course condensing our volatile gases somewhat. So we'll call that a wrap. And that is the MQ135.